Okay, welcome everybody to this first of a kind type of session. Lovely to have those who are here who could make it, and to those who unfortunately have to work, you have the recording to listen to. So we welcome all those who will be listening on the recording as well. So I'm going to introduce dear Bonny to you. Bonny is she was my second downline. I'm just going to give a background where Bonny comes from. And I have to read this because I won't remember it. So Bonny has had 35 years in network marketing experience with a very, very big company. She's been so successful in that every year she has been in the top 10 in the company. Now that is a huge achievement. It's a very big company, and to be in the top 10. And that achievement was for recruiting. And that's why we've got her on here today. She traveled overseas with the company numerous times, and looks like she's following suit with LifeWave. And she's given a lot of talks for that company on motivation and recruiting. So she's a seasoned speaker, and we are just so blessed to have her as a part of our team. So just to give a little history of how she got into LifeWave, it's quite an interesting one. I've known Bonny since we were teenagers because her brother is married to my sister. So we have a close relationship, and who would have thought that we would be in business together one day? And when I was doing my business launch after joining last year, I sent out all my WhatsApp messages, and I invited Bonny because she had invited me previously to some of her talks and that with her current company. And I got an emphatic no back from Bonny, a very strong no, not interested. And the reason I'm sharing this is so don't lose hope when people tell you no. Because I think it was literally a couple of weeks later, she phoned me and we chatted about it. I'm not going to go into all the details of how she got into it, but the rest is history. And she is now my top performer in my team. And I'm so blessed to have her. And also the fact that she's now got this incredible knowledge and experience to offer us onto how we achieve this she has achieved her incredible success in LifeWave. So Bonny, over to you. We just can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Thank you for your very kind words, Trish. Hello, everybody. Welcome onto the call, and well done in being here and taking the time to invest in yourselves. Book called GoPro, Eric Worre, and he says 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professional. And that is probably where you are expecting me to start on my tips and strategies, but that is not where I'm going to start. I'm going to start on the most important thing in your entire business, and that is you. So we've got to get ourselves, our minds right first, because we can be the greatest asset or the biggest stumbling block. The choice is ours. Our attitude and our belief in network marketing and the patches will determine our success. So we have to get our minds thinking right first about network marketing and the patches. Richard Branson, who's one of the wealthiest men in the world and one of the most successful, says, money has left the offices. It's on the streets of network marketing. If you're offered an opportunity in network marketing, grab it with both hands. Eric Worre says, it is the best. It's not perfect, but it is the best. So let's delve a little bit into what network marketing can offer us. First of all, what are our other options? We can work for a boss, but statistics show that by the time we've reached the age of 65, we are either dead or dead broke. That statement in itself tells us the two greatest needs of mankind today: health and financial security. So when people are hell-bent on trying to find a job, I say, why? You are going to probably battle during your lifetime working for a boss. You probably will never make ends meet, and you're going to end up broke. Why are you working for a boss? So we have the power in our hands through network marketing and in particular LifeWave to change the world, make it a better place, one person at a time. With network marketing, we can work from home. Do you remember COVID? How many people were retrenched? How many people lost their businesses and their jobs? And do you know that network marketing, good companies experience their best years ever, like in 30, 65 years? Paul Getty says, rather have 1% of 100 people rather than 100% of your own efforts, and how true that is. Let's think of a baker. You know, he is baking and baking and baking, or a surgeon. He's working and working and working. We don't have to do that. We can have 1% of 100 people. So our businesses can be thriving while we're sleeping. So many people who are reliant on their own efforts are so afraid that if they can't work for whatever reason, their income will dry up. Also, we are building a legacy that we can hand to the next generation. We cannot be retrenched. Multi-level marketing doesn't judge age, color, religion, but a big thing is residual income. I built up a business and then I stopped working that business for 15 years. And in those 15 years, every single month, I earned an income. Now, is that not unbelievable when you think of that investment that we're making for our retirement years, for our old age? Let's look at the patches. We cannot sell something that we don't believe in. We have to believe wholeheartedly in what we are selling. But if we know that these patches work, the sky is the limit. So we're selling two things: the LifeWave business opportunity and the patches. Now that we know that we have an incredible gift to offer people, and we've got that out of the way, and we believe that we can do this, we've got our minds right, let's look at the next step. The next step is, why are you doing this? If you have a very strong why, you will be able to climb mountains. You'll be able to jump over high fences, things that you never, ever thought were possible. I will make myself vulnerable and I will tell you my why. When I say I can't imagine anything worse, obviously there are worse things that can happen. But I would absolutely hate to be poor when I'm old. I would hate that. So I'm prepared to pay the price now, because the alternative to that is having the pleasure now and paying the price later. I'd rather pay the price now and have the pleasure later. My other reason, I have a daughter who's 47, who's totally reliant on me for her income. And another thing that I absolutely cannot bear the thought of, that really drives me, is I couldn't bear to think of Kathy having anything else other than absolute financial security when I'm not here one day. And one of the biggest things that drove me with the Dubrovnik trip is that I want to be able to give Kathy that opportunity, that holiday of a lifetime. So when things were tough, when I had challenges and disappointments, I thought of that. And that gave me the courage to continue. If your why isn't strong, it's going to be very difficult to do this business. So I really encourage you to try and find a strong why. I'll give you an example. I spoke to somebody who is fine if I'm introducing brand partners for her. But if they say no, she collapses. So I said to her, what is your why? So she said, well, it would be nice if I could earn some extra money. And I said, okay, and would you be prepared to pay the price? And she said, no, not really, because if I don't earn the extra money, it's okay. So make sure your why is very strong. I really encourage you to get a book and work on a list of names. Think of absolutely everybody you know and do not prejudge. Go to great lengths to do this and to find their contact details. And if there is only one thing that you take away from today, it's this. Not everyone is going to say yes. In fact, most people are going to say no. That is our business. Got to accept that fact. You've got to find a way to help yourself to get over that. You've just got to just know that, in fact, if you talk to 10 people, the statistics show that maybe 1 or 3 will say yes. So 7 or 9 are going to say no. But you know what? Get excited when they say no, because it's a game of numbers. It's statistics. When they say no, say, yippee, I'm that much closer to my yes. Because that happens. You will get no. I promise you, you're going to get no. You're going to get no. You're going to no. But I promise you, if you carry on, if you're consistent, if you do what you need to do, you will get yeses. Think about a lion. Have you ever seen a hungry lion? No. He carries on until he finds his prey. And in our case, it's until we find our brand partners. Again, a game of numbers. If we can join up 10 people in our team per month, our businesses will grow very quickly. So essentially, what is our work? It's not spending hours going through a list of names or thinking, I really should phone that person, or I've got so much admin to do. Our only work is talking to people. You can have people on your list for months, and you think, I'm so scared to phone that person. I haven't spoken to them for so many years. What if they say no? If you want to succeed in this business, don't even think. Just take massive action. Just pick up the phone and phone that person. And remember, do not see a no as a rejection. It might just mean not now. The time isn't right for me now. It might also mean, tell me more. I need more information. Okay, so now we have our list of names. Let's get to work. So we need to spend 90% of our work time talking to people. Otherwise, we're not working. I keep on thinking what Amanda says about, are your actions bringing in money? Are they bringing in points? So think about, and I keep on doing this. Thank you, Amanda, for that incredible tip. I keep on thinking about that. Is this bringing in, I need to have my car washed. When I was wanting to go to Dubrovnik, I desperately need to have my car washed. Is that going to bring in points to help me to get to the car? No, forget the car. Not important. Do that another time. So you've got your list. You're going to pick up the phone. You can either just phone them and say, hi, Mary, how are you? How are you doing? A little catch up. Is this a good time to chat? It's very important to say that. Yes, it's fine. Okay, what I have to say will take about 10 minutes. Have you heard of the stem cell patches? The chances are they're going to say no. Have you got 10 minutes for me to tell you my experience? While catching up, this is so important. We need to listen more than we talk. We need to uncover their needs. A good friend of mine who I've known forever tried for 2 years to tell me about the patches, and I wouldn't listen, I wouldn't watch, and I wouldn't read. I said, I'm not interested. Now, I knew that she couldn't walk before going onto the patches without a walker, and because of the patches, she was able to walk. But you know what? I couldn't identify with that. That wasn't my hot button. Find while you're listening, really listen. What is their hot button? What is their need? And when it's your turn to talk, cover that need. Remember, people love to talk about themselves, especially to someone who is listening and who's interested. But just a little tip, stick to the point. Some people can rattle on forever. Now, remember, your time is precious. Is this time making money? Is it bringing in points? Because we are in the business of making money. And when they rattle on and on and on and on about irrelevant things, they're actually wasting your time. So listen to a point, but stick to the point. While we're talking, take yourself right out of the equation. Don't even think about, are they going to join up? Am I sounding okay? Forget about that. Just think, I want to help them. I really want to help them. They can really benefit from these patches, or they can really benefit from this financial opportunity. They've told me their needs. How can I best help them? It's got nothing to do with me. So don't think about the outcome. Just get lost in your story. I'm not crazy about offering to send people information. I say something like, I could send you information that would probably keep you busy for a month. So if you're anything like most people, you'd probably rather I just told you the concise version. The reason I don't like to send them too much information is because it takes too long. By the time they've finished it, they've forgotten our phone call, they've gone cold. The chances are of you getting them to join up are it's almost depleted. So I try to make the sale there and then. And you know what will happen is they will guide you. They will tell you, if you listen carefully, when it is time to close. Now, you might only be just started or halfway through or not nearly finished. Don't say, okay, but I haven't finished. I just want to tell you blah, 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 blah. They are telling you they're ready to start. So you stop and they'll say something like, okay, so what's my next step? Right. Your next step is we join you up as a brand partner. And then you go through that process. That's so important, just to zip our little lips when they are ready, and they will tell us. If they start coming up with excuses, very important to keep our dignity. And I like to say something like, you know what? Hey, I'm just the messenger. I'm so excited about these patches. In fact, they have truly captivated me. So all I want to do is tell you about them. What you do with the information is 100% up to you. It's your decision. And, you know, often when you say that, they'll say, oh, no, I'm not saying I'm not interested. You know, people don't like that feeling of missing out, or that something's being taken away from them. So just tell your story, just give the facts, and then pull back. They must make the decision. If they don't join there and then, keep their name. And if something comes up at a later stage, think of them, send it to them. You know, they often say the fortune is in the follow-up. It is, but I also think we know when to move on. If somebody is very negative, I try in the politest way to end that conversation as soon as possible. And in the same token, I try to offer the patches to successful people, because successful people have a very different mindset. So we do this. We need to be consistent and believe that we can. Massive action results in massive results. Little bit of action, a few results, but massive action, massive results. Key points to take away. Whatever you're telling yourself, that internal dialogue that you can or you can't do this will play out. So at all costs, guard your thoughts. Keep on telling yourself, the more I do this, the luckier I become. But just do it. Don't wait for perfection. There's never a perfect time. And until I had a strong enough why, I used to say, I won't talk to anybody after 2:00. I'm not at my best then. I'm feeling a little bit weary, a little bit tired. I can't think straight. Now, if someone says at 8:00 at night, can you talk? For sure, I can talk. And I'm bright and I'm focused and I'm fine. So that's strong enough why. Laser focus. Be so focused that if the roof fell in, you probably wouldn't even know. Absolute consistency. Small, consistent steps every day will build success. 90% of the time, talk to people. Just keep on keeping on. Never give up. I like to use the pain-pleasure principle. What is painful for you? I've told you mine, but what is yours? What would bring you so much pleasure? Amanda said it the other day, you've paid for everything, you have 100,000 Rand left. What are you going to do with that? Wouldn't it be wonderful to help the poor? Wouldn't it be wonderful, if necessary, to provide a good education for your children or your grandchildren? There's so much good that we can do with money. Be prepared to do what other people won't do. Is that easy? No. Do you enjoy doing it? No. Well, that is for me anyway, but do it anyway. And I'll give you one little example. We're on a group with school friends, some of them right from class 1, others from standard 6. And there's a chap on there called Paul, and he was our head boy in matric, but I never knew him. He was in the Afrikaans class, so I've never spoken to him. Oh my gosh. his name came to my mind, and I thought, oh no, please, I don't want to phone Paul. He's going to think I'm weird, you know. I was going to ask him if he's heard of stem cell patches. Anyway, I phoned Paul, and he said, well, I've actually got a very sore knee. If these can work for me, then yeah, I'm keen. So he said, can you send me some information, which I did. He said, I'll come back to you in a few days. He didn't. And I thought, oh, no, please, what am I going to do now? I need these points. I've got to get to Dubrovnik. So I just sent him a message and I said, Paul, just following up on our phone call, do you need any more information? And he said, yes, please. What is the cost? How do I join? And he joined. So if I'd never done that, it wouldn't have happened. We need a sense of urgency. Time waits for no man. And I'll give you another little example of that. I mentioned the patches to an old friend of mine one day, and she wasn't interested. And now that I know that the patches work and I know that the business works, I phoned her up and I said, listen, Annie, you've got to make time for me to talk to you about these stem cell patches. And she said, no, that's fine, I will. When shall we talk? You know, so it's, yeah, just, you can come on strong. If you really believe in what you're doing, you can be confident and you can be strong. Visualization is very powerful. If you want to lose weight, don't see yourself on the beach as a big fat blob. See yourself as this beautiful, slim, gorgeous looking lady in her bikini. So see yourself where you want to go, not where you are now. You can either make excuses or you can make money, but you cannot make both. You cannot do both. So if you're making excuses, just have a checkup from the neck up, because you can't do both. Don't oversell, but if your belief is strong enough, I think I've covered that. And if you really feel you can keep and help someone, you will be confident and strong. Just tell your story. That's all it is. I don't believe there's any skill as such or any strategy. I say something different to every person I talk to. Just talk from your heart. Just tell your story. Have bulldog tenacity. You know, when a bulldog gets hold of something and it'll never let go, just never give up. Excuse me. Train yourself to make challenges only make you more determined. So I had to really work on my thinking with Dubrovnik. I had to change my thinking and start saying to myself, at all costs, I'm going to Dubrovnik. I will not stop until I've got those 100 points. And in the last few days, I only had 2 points to go. And somebody who had gone advanced cancelled. So I had 6 more points to go. So that really got the adrenaline pumping. And I think that's when I said to myself, I will work day and night. I'll do whatever it takes, but I am taking Kathy to Dubrovnik. I have more or less covered this, but when it's time to close, just, you know, let the prospect guide you and close when they're ready. And then I just want to end with this. The human body, the mind, and the spirit can achieve the unimaginable. Think huge. Dream ginormous, because whatever you can think and believe, you will achieve. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer. I said I'd take half an hour. It's half an hour on the dot.
Well, Bonny, sure. Thank you. I was getting very emotional there at the end. because your why is so strong,
Mm.
and that's what drives you.
Mm.
And and your heart for Kathy is like, yeah. And just to share quickly there, I had a one-to-one with Amanda, who's doing this with all her downline, and she stirred up my why, because in my mind I was almost going to give up. I was thinking, am I cut out for this? That's literally what I was saying to myself. And sorry, I'm getting all emotional. Amanda stirred up my why. And you can't believe the difference it's made to me since I had that call with her, which was on, when was it, Amanda? 2 days ago, whatever. And yeah, so what you've just said now just has so cemented it for us. Yeah. So on that note, anybody got questions for Bonny?
Can I just add to that, Trish? I believe everyone is cut out for this if they have a strong enough why and they're prepared to do what it takes.
Amen. Definitely, that's been, yeah, I have now grasped that, definitely. Thank you. There was something I was going to ask you now. Didn't write it down. Drat. Oh, just, do you only make phone calls, Bonny? Do you only call?
You know, Trish, I do sometimes if I know the person is hectically busy. I say, Mary, I really would like to chat to you. Please tell me if / when it's convenient for you.
Okay.
But I do not say via an SMS, have you heard of the stem cell patches?
Okay. Okay. I think for me, that's the big thing to overcome. Sorry, Amanda.
No, sorry. Yeah, I just want to say, Bonny, while you were talking, every single sentence that you said, I was like, yes, yes, yes. It was like every single thing that you said was so valuable and so true. And I think you could take one sentence and make a whole story, a whole meeting of each one of them, because in what you wrote down for us to give us, I think every one of those, you don't just hear it and becomes part of you. You know, it becomes part of your life by working through it. None of this came easily. And I'll never forget when Bonny was 2 points from there, and I'm so glad you mentioned that. And suddenly, I mean, 2 points is almost there, but 2 points means at least one core person. It's not, we all know it's not just like this, I'll quickly go and get 2 points. I mean, then everybody would be at Dubrovnik. Okay, so 2 points is already, after you've exhausted probably most of the people that you think of, 2 points to get there, and there was only like a week left, was still like, wow, but I really worked to get those 2 points, to get that person and get them on call. And then suddenly having to realize now you need 6 because somebody cancelled. And I think it just inspired me and gave me so much, I've got so much appreciation for you. It's not even the right word. Honor, for a lack of a better word, for what you did, for getting from that mindset of I'm almost there to having now to, in effect, find 3 people where you thought it was only one, now maybe 3 people on call. But because your why was so strong and you just said, I'm going to do it. I don't think any of us, if you haven't been there, realize what it took for you to do that. And I just want to honor you for that. And you're an inspiration for all of us to know, so people speak to 2 or 3 people and they say no, and then they say, oh no, I'm not cut out for this. Sorry, that's not your words, Trish. But it's just what's coming up to me. And then no, so many people have said no. Okay, so 10 people are going to say no before one says yes. I remember there was once a time when I learned this principle of only 1 or 2 out of 10 people will say yes. Not even to say they're going to be a business builder, they just probably say yes, okay, I'll try it. And when I learned this principle, it was like a wow thing, because I thought I was a weakling because I didn't get at least half of the people that I talked to interested. And then I decided that Saturday, I will never forget that Saturday morning, I'm going to speak to 10 people, but I will get a yes. I spoke to 22 people that day. It wasn't in LifeWave, but I spoke to 22 people and they all said no. And I thought, this isn't working. But 22 people, do you know how many people is 22 people who says no? But that Monday, one of the guys that I spoke to phoned me and said, can this work for women as well, or was it only for males? And he placed a huge order. But doing that, going through that 22 people and the mindset that I went through and what I learned through continuing, what I learned through that was huge. And Bonnie's like you saying, you have to speak to 10 people maybe to get one. And what you've learned by thinking you only needed 2 people, but you continued for 2 points to 6 points, what you've learned there is a skill that's going to take you for the rest of your life. And reaching Dubrovnik is not only what you did there, is not just getting the trip. The skills and the business that you built in the process, it's going to reward you for much, much, much longer than just Dubrovnik. So I just want to say from my side, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Amanda.
It's been amazing seeing your journey. I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. 100%.
And I'm zipping my lips. I struggle to zip my lips when I get excited. So that's what I took from Bonnie now is shut up. There's a time that you should shut up. You know, stop talking. Okay, so that's my stop talking moment now.
Oh, Amanda. Anyone else?
I'm just curious to hear, Bonnie, when you say you sometimes send the information, what do you send? Because I often send information and that's it. They tell me they haven't read it and they go cold.
Okay, all I send is what Amanda suggested I send when I first started, and I asked her, this is it, info.com, and then the testimonies.
Okay. And when you follow up and they haven't read it yet, sorry, I haven't had a chance.
Okay, so a skill that one can learn is you can say, I'm going to send you this information now. I'm going to follow up with you. When will you have read it? When would you have watched it?
Okay.
Tomorrow? Will tomorrow be a good time?
Okay, awesome. I'll try that.
And if you don't do that, you can do what I did with Paul, just, following on from what I've sent you. Do you need any more information?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Something that I've also learned, Melissa, lately, and Bonnie, thank you for that, because that's something I realized that I am going to do. I'm going to send it to you by when will we have a look, be able to look at it? When can I call you to follow up? So that's something that I have to learn as well. But what I've learned as well is we tend to give people a lot of information. They keep on asking. We send them information, but that's not what we want to do in LifeWave. I can't talk about the other network marketing companies, but in LifeWave, what we want to do is, our goal is we want to get them on a Zoom call or at a live presentation. And by giving them all the information that they're never going to get to the Zoom call, what that means is they're only going to hear your voice. They're never going to hear the voice of uplines. They're never going to hear the live voice of people sharing their testimony with emotion and sometimes with tears and with gratitude. And on the Zoom call, afterwards, they can ask questions. So even though I know Trish is a person that came into the business by Kim sending her a few testimonies or Zoom calls or something like that, but people don't realize that it doesn't stop at the end when the Zoom call recording stops. People don't realize that there's that, on a live call, there's that real life commitment. There's that real life people there. It's not somebody talking there in the background. It's real life, and you can actually ask a question. So by giving people all this information, we don't get them on the calls. Why would they go on a call if they get all the information from you? And it's not only about learning on the Zoom call, it's about becoming part of the community, feeling, oh, there's somebody seeing me. There's somebody saying, hi, Melissa, welcome. I'm so glad you made it. It's different than lying on your bed, watching a video recording. suddenly there's somebody seeing you. And that's why it's important when you invite people to be on the same call, or at least tell your sponsor, your upline, I've invited somebody, I can't be there, so that your sponsor at least can be there and invite them and welcome them. It's making them part of the community, the same with the WhatsApp calls, WhatsApp groups, making them part of the community. And that's why I encourage everybody to ask questions on the group, because maybe your new person doesn't have the confidence to ask a question. But if somebody else asks a question, they get answers, but also it gives them the confidence. Oh, I'm not really stupid. That's why I don't know where to patch, but I'm just too shy to ask. Maybe they'll think I'm stupid. But if they see that other people ask the questions, they'll have the confidence to ask their questions. So the community is very important.
That is very true. Can I just add something that is so true, Amanda? And that's something I have to work on. Something else that really was a light bulb in this whole thing was, I think most of us don't think enough of ourselves. We don't think we deserve success. And near the end of this, it was like a light bulb went on. And I said to myself, you know what? You really deserve this trip. And I think when we acknowledge that we deserve success and we deserve a good life, I think it is helpful.
%100%. Else.
Any more questions?
You did such a good job, Bonnie. No one's got questions to ask. It's so interesting what our different whys are. Hey, Bonnie, yours was you were going on that trip. For me, it doesn't push my buttons at all. Just the stage of life I'm in at the moment. It's just so interesting, you know, that we all have to discern what is our why. I think that is the biggest thing. It really is.
Interesting, but traveling isn't my big thing. I'm very much a home bird, but I suddenly thought this would be a holiday of a lifetime for Kathy.
Yeah.
She will be absolutely thrilled.
Wonderful.
And that, you know, that drove me.
Yeah, incredible. Anyone else?
I think Linda's trying to say something. Linda, unmute. Let me see if I can
muted, Linda.
let me see if I can unmute her. Well, she has.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think we've learned a lot. I do tend to rather send WhatsApps, and I do realize I have to make phone calls because the WhatsApps just don't seem to be working. And I send a little bit of info. I met up with a friend. I hadn't seen her for a while. And she said, oh, what's that patch? So then I could start to tell her a little bit. But then she was in a rush. And then I sent her some info. And I haven't heard from her. So I'll give her a little bit of a reminder or phone her. Maybe meet her for coffee. I think perhaps that's a good way.
Also, you know, what I've found with my previous company is somebody might say, "Oh, just give me the quick version. Just give me snippets. Just tell me, you know." And I was very strong on that. I won't do that. I cannot spoil your opportunity. We need to sit down. That's what I had to do with the other company. You know, we need to sit down, one-to-one, belly to belly, eyeball to eyeball, and let me explain it properly to you. You deserve that.
Sure.
I can just say, you know, they say the fortune is in the follow-up, and most people are very scared to follow up. And I think it's a skill that we have to learn, me too. But I just share experience that I had. Somebody called me one day. I don't know if you know Samba cards, but somebody called me and said that somebody gave my name. Maybe I would be interested in the Samba card. Now, I know the person that gave my name. I don't know them from a bar of soap, so I think they saw my name on Facebook or something like that. So they gave my name. But my sister is using Samba, and I've thought many times that would be a good idea, but it wasn't something that I actually looked into ever. And where we lived previously, there wasn't Samba. But anyway, so I said to this woman, y'all just send me some information. I'll have a look at it. I actually think it's something I might want to do. But then she sent me the information I never got to. I just got busy. I really just got busy. It wasn't that I wasn't interested. I just got busy. And then she phoned me about a week later again. She said, oh, just checking. Have you had a look at that yet? And I said, oh, I'm so grateful you phoned me. I'd actually forgotten. I mean, I was interested when she phoned me, but I had really forgotten, and I'll have a look at it. But then life happened again. I didn't look at it again. And then she phoned me about a week again, 1 week later, and she said, just checking up, following up, have you seen? I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really going to make a note, and I'm going to do it. And this happened about 5, 6 times. And guys, I was really interested, but I just never got to it. And eventually I got to it, and I joined and everything. Do you know that not once in all those times that she followed up with me was I irritated with her? I was grateful that she followed up because I actually wanted to do it. Life just really happened.
Yeah.
And maybe it wasn't on top of my priority list, but I really wanted to do it. So we tend to think that, oh, I can't phone the second time and the third time. That obviously, if they haven't done it yet, obviously they're not interested and they must be so irritated by me. It's not always the truth. And that lady, that experience has changed such a lot of things for me. So guess what? A year later, or 2 years, a year later, when I got involved with LifeWave, I contacted her. She hasn't done anything, but she said, my mom might be interested. Her mom joined, stopped using the patches, but in the meantime, she gave me somebody's number, and that lady joined, and she is a firecracker. She's just like ready to go. And now we've got the original sponsor back on track. And who knows, maybe the Samba lady is that's her daughter. Maybe in time it will come. But what I'm saying is it was such a learning experience for me to realize that I never got irritated because she followed up, because I really was interested.
Yeah. I know for me, I get all bent out of shape if they don't, if they don't respond, and then you follow up and then they don't respond and you think, oh, it's me. They're not, we really just talk ourselves out of it. So bad. It's this mind is our worst enemy. I'm telling you. Oh, we could just get our mindset right.
But now we know your why.
Yeah, you win the battle.
Now we know your why you want to help them, why you want to contact him, it's not about them, about you, it's about them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Please, may I ask to be excused? I have an urgent message I need to attend to.
So I think we can wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bonny, so much for your contribution and for being prepared to give us your time. We really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
And appreciate you. Thank you so
Absolute
much.
pleasure.
It's been
Thank
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bonny.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Really
Bye-bye.
great.
Thank you, everybody. Nice to see you on screen.